So the first tool that I'm going to show you that I made is a drill, a cross drill for my lathe. It mounts in place of the quick change tool post holder. I just made it out of a piece of C-channel that I machined flat on the bottom, and machined a little nice flat spot there so that this spacer really is what this is. It's just a big spacer because the tool post, the bolt for the tool post holder is quite long, to bolt it in place. And it's just powered by a little DC motor. I got the whole kit from Banggood. There's a couple guys who have channels that live in the UK and I think some in Australia who get quite a bit of stuff from Banggood, and one of them, I forgot who it was, demonstrated making something similar to this. I've used it. Despite being small, it actually works pretty well. Obviously it's not going to cut through anything really hard, but I have drilled into steel with it, and certainly brass and other softer materials. It's got a small chuck on it that I guess you could use some grinding stones in it if you wanted to do some light grinding on the lathe. I simply square it up to the chuck. It's the screws on the bottom here holding the motor bracket on are getting in the way a little bit, but I just square it up to the chuck. I'm not going to go ahead and do that now, and then I can move it in or out. And it's variable speed. So that was a pretty quick and easy little project. Probably the hardest part of the whole project was getting the alignment on the spindle here for the drill to be perpendicular to the base plate that's mounted on the tool post holder. So a few more of the shop made tools that I've made are, I'll start with this machinist jack. It's one of the first things I made that I blued, chemical bluing. I think I used Brownells on this. I think it came out pretty good. It's rather large. I used it to make one of the other tools that I'll show you here in just a bit. But knurled top, relatively fine pitch thread. Other than that, pretty simple. It was the first time that I did any significant tapering on the lathe. Also 3D printed a protective cap for the top to keep this nice shiny surface from getting scratched up, because what I used this for is to make this. I modified a 6-inch angle plate to drilled and tapped it with 121 ¼ 20 holes, half-inch spacing. So I made it into a 90-degree or 45-degree fixture plate for the mill or the shaper to hold it down in its 45-degree orientation. I milled a couple slots through the webbing there and made a bar that fits through there to secure it down to the table. And the reason I made the protective cover for the machinist jack is I was supporting it like this when I was drilling and tapping the holes, and the other side is pretty rough. Made another clamp hold down bar similar to the first one, but a little larger. I don't remember exactly what I made this for, but it can be pretty handy on the mill or the shaper. These little things, I actually have a video about these, just showing what they are. Wasn't sure if I should include these or not, but because they're 3D printed. But I did make them in the shop. They are, I designed them in FreeCAD and 3D printed them on my printer, and they fit over the nozzle on my Ryobi cordless vacuum and allow me to get down in tight spaces. I've got two different sizes. I actually put the STL files for these up on Thingiverse. And I made this. It's a stop for the mill. It's it's three different materials. Steel, which is blued, stainless steel for this post and this rod, and brass for the knobs. I made it so that it's pretty accurate, so that I can flip this bar, the stop, out of the way and put it back in position when I need to. There was something in particular I was making with this that required that type of stop. So looks like I got some leftover gunk there from polishing. I like my shiny brass knobs. And then this tool I did not make, but my dad or my dad's friend, I'm not sure who, made it. It's a slide hammer, rather significantly heavier than the commercially available ones, and it's got two different tips. One, you can put a screw through there and screw it on if you're pulling out body panels or something like that. And this one, which is a hook, which is pretty much the one I use most of the time, it works really, really well when you're doing brake jobs and you have drums, and they're always a bit of a pain to get off, so just hook this end around the back end of the drum and give it a little bit of persuasion and it comes right off. And that's it. So I've only been doing this machining thing, or trying to do it, learning about it, for about 6 months now. I've had my machines for a little over a year, but I took over 6 months off to spend the summer learning how to sail. So I literally didn't even turn on any machines for over 6 months. But I'm back at it now, and so hopefully I'll be getting some more stuff out, and hopefully now some actual machining videos. So thanks a lot. Take care.